So this will be a super technical workshop, and this is something we plan to have user day in presence in Finland, but since there are so many attendees, we decided to have this workshop, and the idea is to have these workshops more on the topics our users are interested in. So we sent a poll. This weatherboard was most popular one, and there were some other topics included in the poll. So will be the next ones, and you can always send a message to us if there is some topic you are interested in. And let's see, probably we start having these every quarter year, so every 3 months, or let's see, about it depends also on your feedback. And yeah, what comes to this weatherboard tool, it happened that we had to add some features to ArchiFrame to make the process much easier. And unfortunately, we were not able to publish the beta version before this webinar. It will be published next week at some point. So sorry, you cannot take all the tips and advices you get today. Instead, you need to wait for the next beta version to get all the features. The most is there, but some features will come with the beta version. So, well, maybe something what the weatherboards are. I have one nice example model made by Finnish Honkarakenne, building log homes. They have used this weatherboard module for more than 10 years already. And they have these very decorative weatherboards. Some features we have is that you can have different separators. So like here we have 2 windows. Depending on the distance between 2 window frames, you can have different dividing pieces. Like here we have all these are frame to frame, so it's very narrow piece covering the two window frames. And this weatherboard module, unlike most of the other parts of ArchiFrame, it reacts immediately to changes in the model. So if I delete this weatherboard, the weatherboards will be updated. And let me show some different styles we have made to this Finnish company. So this is the oldest one probably Honkarakenne has. And so some highlights, you can define pieces like this, and this well, in this case, these are used also for production, not to the CNC files, but to the catalyst level. And these special pieces, they are pre-made, pre-cut, and included in the shipment to the building site. So that's what the weatherboards are about. And then how to do your own much more simple ones. I'll open my work file here. So the first thing is the setup. So I'm using the default data folder. Then I have my user specific settings folder. And everything you do, you should do into this. Don't ever edit this default data. So then keeping this way, you can always install updates easily. So what I do is I copy the related the weatherboards definitions from the default data. So it's this ArchiFrame covering boards XML. Copy that into my user specific settings folder. Yeah, I've played around a bit earlier. And now that the file is here, it will be used from the user specific settings folder instead of the default data. And just to be sure, I reload everything. So to reload settings, open settings and close with OK. Then let's see some of the existing types. I have a simple case, rectangular window. And let's see the built-in types. You need to first, when you don't have any weatherboards, you need to click this create after selecting the type. Then changing the type will sorry, regenerate the weatherboards. So these are the 4 types that come built in with ArchiFrame. Then let's see the type we are going to implement today. This is the screenshot I got from Designis from Netherlands, Moreno and Kasper. So we are going to implement something like this today. So, and yeah, some shortcuts we are going to do is that we are not going to model this invisible thing. So this is for visualization only. And, well, you could use this also for Catalyst, but we will not model this one. But this water plate we will model as the profile is here. So the first thing easiest way to begin is to copy something existing and edit that one. And this one is the best of these built-in ones to start. So basic exterior, that is something we are going to copy. And let's see, I just close this just in case so that I have the right file. So ArchiFrame covering boards. And I'm using Visual Studio to edit this XML file. You can use Visual Studio Code. That is a free tool. I'll just show the keyword. So it is this one. You can consider it will take a few gigabytes from your hard disk. But what it does is when you edit XML, if you have a mistake, for example, here, if I forget this closing tag, you will see a nice error message here. So this will help you to produce syntactically correct XML. But anyway, yeah, we were copying this basic exterior type. So I search for the beginning of the definition, and I'll copy everything to the end, to this end cover type tag. And then, yeah, I think it's a good idea to have these your own types at the beginning of the file. So as the first cover types, I'll paste the copied lines here. And then let's do the first editings. So I'll edit the ID and the name. The ID is something the user doesn't see. The name is visible to the user. And then yeah, there are many many attributes here that are specific to ArchiFrame's weatherboard module. So let's see first what could this oversize here mean, and we will find the answer from ArchiFrame manual. And yeah, I'll go to the beginning of the manual, and then the weatherboards, they are here, and search for oversize. So there is the first item, and then here at the second match, it is described what it means. So oversize means with the value 1 or value 0, it means that the weatherboards, they are anchored to the window frame, not taking the oversize between the window frame and the wall into account. Like here, we have huge oversizes, 100 millimeters on the left, and so on. And yeah, this is with value 1, the weatherboard will be anchored to the opening or to the hole in the wall. So everything has some meaning here, and to understand the meaning of different settings, XML attributes, please search from the manual. Then this block here, you could set new settings, the normal XML type settings to new weatherboards. For example, if you want those to go to specific layer, you could put that setting here. And those settings let's see if there is a link here. Okay, this doesn't really tell it, but it's here in the index. It's XML settings for an ArchiCAD element. So everything here can be included in those settings. And then the idea of the weatherboards is that ArchiFrame will generate line groups, one group per one window frame. The manual, it shows nicely here, we see from the door window combination example of the line group. So for the door, we have one line group. Then for the windows, we have two separate ones. So altogether 3 line groups. And this typical rule in ArchiCAD that all these polygon kind of things, the contour line goes counterclockwise. And what you need to know is that the outside of the window is always to the right to this line. So those are line groups, and then well, let's see, because in this type we have two different line groups. One is forming the exterior, so these 4 pieces, and then the other one is forming these jambs covering the wall between the window frame and the surface of the wall. And since our type, it was like this, we don't have any, we have only these jamb pieces. We don't need at all this first line group. So just delete the first line group here. And now what is left is our jamb line group. And let's save the file in this state, reload settings. Then I select the window and change the type. Now we have the new type here on this list. And as you see, we have only the this window jambs. And yeah, I had this distance from wall surface. I have that setting, so let's put it to the default 0. So then the jambs will begin exactly from the wall surface. And by the way, if you have any questions, you can ask or write to the chat. And Kaylee, please notify me if there is something. Thanks. Yes. So now we have these here, the 3 pieces. Their geometry is correct. What we need to do is to edit the thickness of these so that this looks like made from aluminum. So something like this. So let's do the needed editings. And also, yeah, this type equals jamb that is explained in the manual. There are many of these. Yeah, there was, yeah, here is the biggest or the main explanation about jambs. Well, yeah, so let's see what these different blanks definition mean. And okay, Moreno, you have a question?
Yes, I have also ArchiCAD open right now, and I have an ArchiFrame node. Maybe I can share my screen.
Yeah, please.
I think I was doing exactly the same as you, but
yeah, it is your XML is not correct. So it says cover types XML part is missing.
there was the XML. I copied that and put my designers here, exactly the same what you do, and then delete the first line group.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe there might be some XML syntax error, but we can have a look of that after this this webinar. What has gone wrong?
Okay, I think I I say it to you, so maybe you can explain that. But...
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, then we continue with
yeah.
your
Okay, yeah,
presentation.
yeah. I'll share my
Okay.
So yeah, so this every plank definition here, they will produce planks, and the attribute here, door equals 0, means that this definition will not be applied if it's a door. But now we will use similar rules for doors and windows, and in this case, I've checked that these always two succeeding blank definitions. The first one is for Windows and the second one is for the door. So I'll just delete the second one and remove the definition that it is only for Windows. So now this will affect the doors and windows. And the type here, vertical and the wildcard, it means that this blank section is covering the vertical part. So in this image, all the A parts, they are some kind of vertical. The side edges here, they are vertical. They have a type of vertical, and then the mid ones have vertical mid. But having this wildcard means that the both, no matter if it's in the middle or at the side of the opening, they will be handled or processed the same way. And then to begin with, I'll put these all the settings to 0. And the unit here is a meter, and the decimal separator must be dot. And here we are using block kind of materials, so we don't have this material type in ArchiFrame blocks, and this will be adjusted to this specific window jump size. But I'll say we decided, or let's say that the aluminum is 4 millimeter thick. And then this, the height of this piece, these are something that ArchiFrame has set the jump depth. It is the distance from the wall surface to the window frame. This is all described here in the manual. And then wall distance here, that refers to the user interface, so this value here. And then Z offset, it is the distance from the wall surface to the baseline of the plank. And the positive value, that goes into the wall, and negative comes outside from the wall. A rotation angle tells the rotation of the plank. Now, with a 0, it will be the watching direction. So this will go into the wall. Typically, you use 0, 180, and plus minus 90 degrees rotation here. So I'll adjust this other one. So this will handle the horizontal top, then horizontal, which is I think these middle ones, they will be horizontal. The C ones, that is horizontal, and then the D is horizontal top, and then this is inclined, so angled parts of opening will be using this same rule. So again, for now, extend 0, and the line offset will be 0. And the same here. And I think, yeah, now we have just two blank definitions here. So I'll save my file and let's see the result. First reload settings and then select the window. And then recreate selected ones. So now we got this, the thickness of the piece is that is good, and elevation is the best view to be exact with the weatherboards. So let's pay attention first to the position of these pieces and then how the corners are done. So, well, here we have, since the line offset was 0, our weatherboards or these jumps, they are following exactly the window frame. But watching this image says that, well, it has to be offsetted inside the window frame. So let's do that adjustment. And I'll use 10 millimeter value. And if I remember right, I think this has to be minus to go inside. The positive will take it outside and negative will take it inside. And also this defines the center line of the plank, and since our plank is 4 millimeter thick, I need to put add the half of the thickness, so that's why we end up to 12 millimeters. And then let's do the same. So this the good way to do this small changes, then test if it's okay. So the window selected, I can recreate it here. So now the middle line, if I measure from the corner to here, we have yes, so 12 millimeters. And then let's make this so that this extends a bit further here and this bit less. So we want to have this kind of end result automatically, and that can be done by extending or shortening these vertical ones by 2 millimeters and then extending the horizontal ones by 2 millimeters from both ends. So again, reload settings and recreate selected. Yeah, looks good. And let's see the other side that we didn't hand edit. And now let's measure the distance from here. So now we have 10 millimeters in the X and Y direction. So this is what we want. And here what we need to do is this profiled water plate to the bottom. So to do that, we need to define this kind of raw material, having this profile into our raw material list. And let's do that one. And I'll cheat a bit. Let's see the section of the window. And yep, I'll use this, the shape, what we have in this window object. And thank you, Peter, for the trick you taught me. Now I can do this. So to get 2D version, or the end result, what we need is 2D fill. So to get that, I first explode these into separate lines. And to get those selected, this is the trick I've used. Maybe there is some other way. So undo and redo. Now we have only the exploded parts. Drag this slightly, and then only thing we are interested is this part here. Everything else we can delete. And then we need to, instead of having separate line segments, we need to have polyline. So I'll use magic wand, pressing spacebar and clicking this line. And now I have the polyline here. Yeah, here I can see that it's polyline tool. I move it away from these separate lines, and now I can delete these. Then I drag a copy because I need to have thickness. In ArchiFrame, you cannot have 0 thickness profile cross section. So drag a copy from here, and I drop it to the same place. Then I start dragging from here and take this stretch mode. And let's say 1 millimeter radius, and we have nice. shape here that we still need to close. So I'll draw these closing polylines here. And then, since ArchiFrame required that the profile is a fill, I use again magic wand. So press space bar and then click inside the polyline. And then I'll copy this fill to the floor plan. I don't know, actually it might work in section also, but at least here it will work. And paste it here. So there we have it. And the rule when defining ArchiFrame profile is that the height direction must be in Y direction. So I will rotate this by 90 degrees. So from here to here. And then to get the profile, I need to know the size of this piece. And also I need this fill because I need to place user origin to the middle center. And now this fill gives me a nice aid. So I can click the user origin here to the middle. And what I need to edit now is ArchiFrame blocks changes XML, so my raw material list. So this one from my user specific settings folder. Open the file. Okay, I had it already. I practiced this, so I delete that one. And then I copy paste something existing. And it's good to copy something that has this part already defined for the plank. So for all raw materials, you can specify settings. So you can set any ArchiFrame plank parameter. This, for example, will disable having that X symbol that you see in the column kind of pieces in floor plan. And then, yeah, before giving this a name, let's see the size. So I measure this fill, 45 by 90. And to use the profile, I need to select the fill, which is orientated this way. So this is the width of the plank, and this is the height direction on y-axis. And then there is this, in this arrow tool, there is dump profile from fill that will dump the needed XML that I copy paste to my raw material list. So copy this one and replace what we had in this earlier. I now paste it here. Also, what this Visual Studio does is it indents this automatically. And then I need to give an ID to this. I think it was 45 by 90. ID and name the same. And these need to be given to match the material. And this, the remaining settings, they don't really matter. And then save the definition, and then in ArchiCAD, reload the settings, and then remove selection, and let's see how does it look here. So it is at the end of the list, and I'll place it 0 rotation as a column, 90-degree angle, 0 level. So there we have it. The profile is the same, and the orientation of the profile is actually looked from below this piece. So that's why it looks mirrored to this one. And to understand what is which surface is which, I'll draw one plank being horizontal there, and then let's see this in 3D. So here we have it, and to be sure about the direction of this plank, I will assign some ID to it, let's say 100. So from this text, I'm sure that this is the beginning. So it means this is the top, this is front side number 2, bottom is number 3, and then this the back side is side number 4 in ArchiFrame. We need this knowledge to be able to say which way we want this water plate to be. So now we have the building block for the water plate. Let's edit the XML again. And here, the original one didn't have any bottom, but I'll remove these comments. So now this is included in the definition. So again, what I do, this will be used no matter if it's door or window, and extend 0. And like we did earlier, let's say a line offset 0 to begin with, then we'll see the result, and we will edit this afterwards. Now, instead of a block, we are going to use, which was it? This one. The ID is here. And since this has its own width and height, it doesn't matter whatever I give those here, they will be ignored. Then Z offset, that is the distance from the surface. That is actually, we want this to be exactly, we want this to begin from the window frame. So it has to be like this. And since by default, let me show here in 3D our existing, or yeah, let's see everything here. Existing pieces, if I zoom close, well, you cannot really see from these, they are so small, the dots. But you can see 3 dots here, and the plank is extended from those 3 dots towards inside the wall. So what we want this, the water plate, we want it other way around, so we need to rotate it by 180 degrees. And then there is a new definition that I'll check from the manual. It was something side out. So this side out opening, this will ease your things. If you have ever tried this weatherboard, you might have been missing definition like this. It will tell that with this applied rotation, we want this side, and actually it was number 4, we want the side 4 to be outside from the window, because our water plate, it is not symmetric. It is important how it's orientated. So what ArchiFrame does in this case is that after applying this rotation angle and the position of the piece, it checks if this exists, and this one is pointing inside the opening. The direction of the plank will be swapped, causing this one to be then outside. Quite complicated, but this is something you can try yourself, and then perhaps you'll find out how the rules, what this really means. So let's save this, and again check what happens when I do this again. So reload settings, recreate. So we go to this weatherboard, and let's have a look at the elevation. So this is our window, and if I zoom close, here I can see that there is collision here. Let's say I want to shorten this by 2 millimeters, and then I want this to begin at the bottom of the window frame. So I need to offset it by some distance, which is here it is actually it's 22.5. And that's logical because the height of our piece was 45 millimeters. So the baseline of this ArchiFrame plank is placed exactly on the window frame bottom, but we need to offset it, or we need to move it down. So let's do those two things. So extend -2 millimeters, and then line offset that was positive 22.5 millimeters, and then save it and reload. So now we have this weatherboard starts exactly at the window frame bottom. And this actually here, there is, well, for visualization, this doesn't really matter. We have 2 millimeter gap here, which was from the -2 millimeter extension. And the final result in 3D, there is something, this the wall is not automatically cut by this weatherboard. I don't really know what to do this. Maybe if there is a setting in the window object, you could use that to cut away the wall, or then you need to use some solid element operations. And to test your definition, you will need to test it for walls with different geometry worlds. So to do that, I'll mirror a copy of this one. We mirror with horizontal line, and then let's see these in 3D. And let's apply the rules to all these windows. So design is, and just in case, I'll create that to every place. So now we can check if the result is correct. Seems to be fine. Yeah. The other one, I guess that is also fine. This is, let me see. This is what I plan to show. One more small thing is how ArchiFrame finds out the window shape. It doesn't take it from 3D model, because interpreting that would be very difficult and slow. Instead, let's say if I change this window to some other type, some special window, let's see if this one has been taught to ArchiFrame. Looks like it is, but yeah, it looks like, or yeah, it looks like this isn't taught to ArchiFrame. So that's why we have rectangular weatherboards for this one. Let's see some other type that is taught to ArchiFrame. In this pentagon window, ArchiFrame is aware of. So now it follows this window rule, and you might have your own special window library, and of course we can help you making it compatible with ArchiFrame. And here is the logic that is done for this pentagon window. So we check the library path GUID. We check if it's some of these, which is pentagon window, and then we have the rules here. We read one parameter from the window object, and then we make the polygon shape to ArchiFrame. And this return true means that yes, this is known window shape. And how to get that library path GUID? Select the window, and it's this dump library path. So here it is. This first GUID here is the one that doesn't change. It will change if you save as your GDL object with different name. This later part, it will change every time you save the object. So that is not used to identify the library path instead of this one only. So yeah, this is this was how to make this simple one, and it's always best to start with simple ones. Then you can take more challenging ones, like we have done, for example, to one Swedish customer, Villa Nordic. This is done all automatically, so we have this one side piece which is in the watching direction. The Weatherboards module needed to be extended to support this one. Then we have this is separate piece, and also this is a plank having its own profile, so it's here in the raw material list. And then, yeah, something special here is that there is ArchiFrame grooves actually added automatically to make this decorative shape. So this all is possible. And also here at the top, we have separate steel part, and then under that we have the wooden part. And this is modeled in such a level of detail that this could be used as a catalyst to pre-cut these pieces. And yeah, now it's time if there are any questions, or what do you think? Are you wiser than 40 minutes ago? Well,
I have a question. Can you
yep,
hear me? Yeah.
yep.
These weatherboards that you program, do they only work with one defined wall type when it comes to the depth of the layers? You have to make another one if there's thicker
Yeah,
or more layers. You have to make another. It's not smart enough to know.
that's correct. Yes. So these are fixed profiles, but you can make a library of these. You can have different sizes, and let me show the XML for this one. It looks like here it is, covering boards. So was it black? It was decorative top. So this ArchiFrame covering boards, it contains XML, and then to do fancy things, you can include a Lua script, and into Lua script you can make this. You can check the jump depth, and then use different material IDs depending on how deep in the wall the window is. And this example, this one makes it the decorative grooves. Unfortunately, we haven't yet documented these internals of ArchiFrame, how this groove is internally expressed. So this something we can, of course we can share this information, but that's not in the manual at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is this script was to add those decorative cuts. Then there is more complicated here that does these top and bottom pieces here. So this made the most most complicated one. So we have two at the sides and then one in the middle. And this for the top, that's why this do top but is called 3 times to add all those. And yeah, there is a lot of logic, and that selected the material ID by the jump depth could be added here. And also what ArchiFrame, what this weatherboard module can do is after creating the parts, for example, what is done here, this XML runs ArchiFrame adjust endings feature. So let me show how this is done. Let's see. Operations is under this name. So Yeah, it is this one which connects those pieces. So we have join ends. This is fully documented. These operations using XML to adjust blanks together or create rules to the blanks. So here is yeah, something that doesn't exist in the user interface. Is that here you can specify which side should be the longest, because it's not clear how to make this connection in this case. But yeah, with this keep side, that was also addition to this very new ArchiFrame version. So it means that this side will be kept as a long one. Well, let me see what happens if I adjust these now. Yeah, this could be valid also if these were longer, then this would make sense. But yeah, in XML you can give even more details how to connect these pieces. Okay, any other questions?
I was just going to go back to Moreno's comment earlier from if there's any errors in the XML file or if things aren't working, probably you can just email support with screenshots and examples, right, Petteri, and then you and Petteri can help troubleshoot any stuff in there.
Yeah, and I'll show you one trick. So I'll make a mistake here to the block changes XML. So I have a space here, and in this Visual Studio I get these error messages. But then if I open this file in a browser, it was this block changes. I just drop this file here. I will get line 576. So no surprise, what was the line 576? Because this tells that it is 680. But anyway, yeah, here this opening the file XML file in Chrome or your browser might give you some information. But if not, then just send it to us and we'll sort it out.
So for my knowledge, you can put the XML file in your browser.
Yeah. So now I save this the correct one, or I can reload this. So now if it shows it like this.
Oh yeah, I have an error right now. So
Okay, yeah, it
line
may,
1217, column 11.
and this here we can share this file resulting today, but you will need to wait for the next beta version, unfortunately.
And that's going to be released next week. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also for the for the bottom, the depth of the wall, you can put your depth in the negative. So
Yeah.
I can share my screen so people can see that what I do.
Yeah. So you're Moreno fast. You're doing this as learning.
Yeah,
Doing.
we played a little bit around with it. So
Yeah.
I have here option in my window tool that I can put a negative refill, and my negative refill is 45, and then the wall drops down for 45. So I don't know if the window tools from other users have the same. This is a library part from the Netherlands, but I think it is maybe the same.
Yeah, I think these settings, they are standard
Okay.
one in all kinds of windows.